What's up, gardening friends? Jeff here, Tropical Plant Party. How's everybody doing? Are you good? I hope you're good. I am great. Now, in Saturday's video, I was answering a question from Rose at Rose's Orchid Ramblings, and I answered the wrong question. I put that in the video, I let everybody know, but I left that in because I thought that what I was saying might still be helpful. So I'm going to do a quick redo on that. And basically, what Rose was talking about in her question is that she has an area in her garden that she wants to have a border of all the same plant. There's a problem, though. Part of that border, that area, gets full sun, part of it does not. And that's not only affecting having the plants growing evenly, but it also affects the microclimate. The microclimate being that where there's more sun, that spot is warmer during the winter, and those plants are going to survive the winter better than the spots that are in the dark. So let's say, in my garden, I wanted to plant a border that goes from here all the way down there. Seems fairly simple, but I know in my yard, this part gets a whole bunch of sun. That middle is shady, underneath the magnolia tree, shade, and then over here at the end, that very corner gets lots and lots of sun. So getting a consistent border in a space like this is going to be very, very, very difficult for a number of reasons. The sun being different. So if I plant impatiens throughout this whole thing, they're going to do better, or sun impatiens I should say, are going to do better over here in the sun than they are in the shade. It's not going to be even. If we're using perennials, Rose specifically was talking about her campanellas. Now the campanellas are going to do better where there's sun because, one, they like sun. They grow better in sun. They're going to have their full performance in sun. And they're going to survive winter better because where that sun is hitting, that's going to be a warmer spot. So Rose was saying that her shadier area, that she has clay soil, and so in the shade, maybe amend that soil. Dig up the clay so you have better draining soil. That's one of the first things that's going to really help improve their winter survivability. Another thing I would suggest, I'm talking about survivability right now, would be you can take frost cloth, which is fairly cheap, and you can lay that over the area on top of the campanella. Go ahead and give them a light layer of mulch, and then put that frost cloth down, and you can weigh the frost cloth down along the edges with mulch as well. And that's going to create a little kind of greenhouse effect, keep that ground warmer during the winter months. And then you don't necessarily need to do that to the part that's in the sun. In the spring, the part that gets more sun, which is going to be down here for me, those plants are going to start to pop up first. So what can you do to even that out, that speed of growth? Well, the area that's shady, fertilize them. Fertilize them, fertilize them, fertilize them. Get them going faster. And that will hopefully even them out somewhat with the ones that are in the sun that are just being woken up by the sun. You can go ahead and just blend in a slow release fertilizer, that would work. Or amend the soil, that's good to do. For drainage, I should have said this earlier, pelletized gypsum, fantastic. Score the sides where you dig in clay so that you don't form a pot that holds water. Maybe the area that's more shady for you, you can go ahead and maybe work some larger rocks into that area because those will take in the sun during the day, which is heat, and then they will radiate that heat back out a little bit at nighttime, helping to warm that area. There's also a product called Turfus, which is made for lawns. It's basically like shredded terracotta, that's what I believe it to be, or clay. And that's also going to hold some heat and release it, and it really helps with drainage and aeration. I don't know its availability overseas. But on that note, you could try mixing in old broken terracotta pots, but be careful because they're sharp and they could cut you. Because that will also take in some heat and re-release it. Bricks work really well too. Those take in heat, re-release it at nighttime. With the frost cloth, you can soak that in a bucket with a little bit of no wilt or any type of anti-transparent. An anti-transparent is a spray you put on your plants during the winter months, really the fall into the winter, that puts a waxy coating on the foliage, and it helps prevent them from getting freeze burnt, or wind burnt, I should say. Freeze dried. The wind hits them, and it helps keep the moisture from being blown out of them. But when you put that anti-transparent on your frost cloth, what you're doing is you're creating a vapor barrier, and that vapor barrier is going to it's going to reduce the amount of moisture that gets into the soil, so you don't have to worry as much about things rotting out in the cold. So that's mostly, the microclimate aspect. I actually think frost cloth soaked in anti-transparent would work the best. Maybe not the most attractive thing to have in your front yard, so, you know, you could just put down a layer and maybe throw a light layer of mulch over it. A big chunky mulch that breathes really well would be better. And leave that frost cloth on a little bit longer in the spring, because it's going to heat that spot up better, a little bit of a greenhouse effect in there to help wake them up with the heat, even them out with your area that's in the sun. Okay, but then how do you keep that space even as far as light is concerned? Well, your areas that get sun, those plants are just naturally going to grow a little bit better for you. Your shady areas, again, like I was saying, fertilize those more. Not a higher dosage, but just more frequently to help even that out. But you're still not going to get the same consistency, really, no matter what. You can take a sun plant and put it in some shade and fertilize it to compensate for the fact that it's not getting its energy from the sun, but their growth habits are going to be different. They're probably going to be more leggy, less flowers. I normally suggest when somebody's trying to get consistency in a border and they don't have an even area to do it, because I have that problem in my backyard and in my front. Their areas get more sun than others, so I can't have a really nice border. So when that's the case, I normally suggest clumping instead of bordering. So have a clump of what you want right there, so you could have a clump of your campanellas there in the sun. Then in the shade, find something that has extremely similar characteristics. So like for me with my impatiens, I'll have my impatiens over here in the sun impatiens, that is, in the sun. Then in the shade, sometimes I will put just regular impatiens that can take a little bit more shade. I'm just more trying to match color, but that's still not giving you a border. It's just trying to create a consistency with color and texture. So your best bet is going to be to fertilize the area that's in the shade more and protect it more. You were talking about amending your soil and digging that clay up, and I would say yes, definitely do that. Okay, so I hope I was able to answer that, and maybe it was kind of a roundabout way, but hopefully that provides a little bit more clarification on evening out your microclimate. This is quick, short, kind of sloppy. Normally this would be in the vlog, but I messed it up last week. Sorry. No, I hope everybody's doing well. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share the video, comment down below. All of these things help, and I really enjoy talking to y'all. You can follow me on Instagram, Tropical Plant Party, Snapchat, TropPlantJC, and Twitter is TropicalPlantJC. All that stuff is in the bio spot on YouTube for my page. And I promise I'm going to get better about snapping. I swear. Things have been busy. I hope everybody's doing well, and as always, keep on growing, everybody.